Let's discuss the fantasy football impact of Davante Adams signing with the Los Angeles Rams and DK Metcalf being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. There is arguably no better feeling in fantasy football than when you land an absolute steal. You get my 2025 Fantasy Football Draft Dominator, which is jam-packed with strategy and analysis for 250 plus players. And he's been strong in fantasy football. He's averaging over 18 fantasy points per game over 25 career games where he's played at least 73% of the offensive snaps. 2025 week winner, formerly known as the heat map. So you can conquer start-sit dilemmas, find plug-and-play streamers, and dominate your weekly matchups with this one-of-a-kind resource, Discord community, where you can get personalized advice from 180 plus and counting sharp fantasy football minds that are helping each other dominate. 365 days of elite fantasy football analysis, resources, and Discord community. What's up, my friend? It's mustached Mikey Henninger with Basement Brewed Fantasy Football, and thank you so much for tuning into our surprise bonus episode, episode 52, aka Season 2, Episode 3 of Inside the 20. With the NFL free agency window opening this week, it is officially the most chaotic time of the year for NFL fans and fantasy football players alike. In fact, when I was sitting at dinner on Sunday night, the fantasy football headlines got off to a blazing head start on Sunday night when it was reported that Davante Adams is returning to the West Coast while DK Metcalf is headed east. So in today's surprise bonus episode, let's discuss the fantasy football impact of Davante Adams signing with the Los Angeles Rams and DK Metcalf being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just a few days ago in episode 51, we used Vegas sportsbooks to discuss potential landing spots for free agent wide receiver Davante Adams. We discussed the fantasy football potential of Adams signing with the Chargers, the Bills, the Steelers, and more. And while we talked a little bit about the Los Angeles Rams, it was more about a wide receiver that they were likely losing, Cooper Kupp, not the one that they would eventually be signing. So I was admittedly surprised when I received the notification last night at dinner that the Rams were signing 32-year-old wide receiver Davante Adams to a 2-year, $44 million contract with $26 million guaranteed. And while I'm bummed out about it as a Packers fan, I really wanted Davante Adams to come home, I am excited about this landing spot for Davante Adams as a fantasy football analyst. Adams will join a Sean McVay offense that's finished 14th or higher in passing attempts, 10th or better in passing yards, and 16th or better in passing touchdowns in all 3 seasons that Matthew Stafford has played at least 10 games with the Los Angeles Rams. And if you're wondering if it's too crowded with emerging superstar Puka Nacua already hogging 9+ targets per game, consider that the outbound Cooper Kupp averaged 8.3 targets and 14.3 PPR points per game in 24 career appearances that he played with Puka Nacua in the lineup. Let's also not forget that Sean McVay already has a documented history of producing 2 stud wide receivers in the same season, even before Matthew Stafford came to town. In 2020, with Jared Goff at quarterback, Sean McVay was able to coax a wide receiver 26 and wide receiver 12 finish out of Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, respectively. In 2019, both Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods finished top 14 among fantasy wide receivers, including a wide receiver 4 overall finish for Cooper Kupp. In 2018, both Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks finished top 13 among fantasy wide receivers. You get the idea. There's plenty of room for 2 stud wide receivers in Sean McVay's offense, especially when you have Matthew Stafford flinging the rock. Now, as for Davante Adams himself, the 2014 second-round pick from Fresno State is entering his age 33 season and year 12 in the NFL after a tumultuous 2024 campaign in which he played 3 games with the Las Vegas Raiders and 11 games with his buddy Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. Of course, age and all the chaos of 2024 did not stop the old man from recording his 6th 1,000-yard campaign in the last 7 seasons, registering 1,000 plus yards and 8 plus touchdowns in each of the last 5 years. Adams has been an elite fantasy football wide receiver for the better part of the last decade, finishing as fantasy's wide receiver 22 or better in each of the last 9 seasons, including top 11 in each of the last 5. Can he make it 6 in a row with the Rams in 2025? Now, on drafters.com, Davante Adams is currently being drafted as fantasy's wide receiver 22 in the middle of the 4th round, around pick 41 overall. I will have plenty of notes and analysis for Davante Adams in my 2025 Draft Dominator, just as I do for 250 plus other fantasy relevant players every season. But as of this recording, he is an absolute smash for me at that cost, especially in best ball leagues. But what about you? Is Adams a smash or a pass in 2025 fantasy football? Let me know in the comments below. Are you a software wizard? A code ninja? A forge master? Or maybe even just a mad scientist? Then come build your career ladder with Infinity Labs, an award-winning technology company, best place to work, and business of the year with best-in-class benefits and compensation. Visit i-labs.tech. That's i-labs.tech today, where you can learn more about Infinity Labs, our expanding national presence, and why the status quo has no hold on us. The other big news that broke on Sunday night was that the Seattle Seahawks traded DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who promptly rewarded the 27-year-old wide receiver with a 5-year, $150 million contract extension. Now, as I mentioned just a few days ago in episode 51, it's almost impossible to feel excited about a big-name wide receiver landing in an Arthur Smith offense. Smith's offenses have finished 25th or lower in passing attempts and 21st or worse in passing yards in 5 of the 6 seasons that he's been an offensive play caller in the NFL, including 29th in pass attempts and 27th in passing yards just last year with the Steelers. And that's not even mentioning finishing 20th or worse in passing touchdowns in each of the last 4 seasons. Arthur Smith has failed to produce even so much as a top 30 fantasy football wide receiver in any of the last 4 years, including a disappointing wide receiver 42 finish for George Pickens just last year, a guy who was routinely drafted as fantasy's wide receiver 26 last summer. And speaking of George Pickens, this guy averaged 7.2 targets per game in Arthur Smith's offense last season, accounting for 22% of the Steelers' target share. The Steelers' second-round pick from 2022 is entering his age 24 season in the final year of his rookie contract, undoubtedly looking to ball out and secure a massive payday this season. And now you're supposed to find enough targets for both George Pickens and DK Metcalf to be reliable on a week-to-week basis in Arthur Smith's run-heavy offense. There's just no way to feel good about DK Metcalf going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least from a fantasy football standpoint. Now, on drafters.com, DK Metcalf is currently being drafted as fantasy's wide receiver 24 near the end of the 4th round, around pick 44 overall. And while Davante Adams is an absolute smash at his current cost, DK Metcalf is the opposite. He's an absolute pass at his current cost. That said, there is room for optimism if the Pittsburgh Steelers do indeed sign Aaron Rodgers, which is looking increasingly possible as of this recording. Regardless, no matter what happens from here, I got you covered, my friend. I will have plenty of updated analysis for DK Metcalf and 250 other fantasy-relevant players in my 2025 Draft Dominator as news continues to break over the next few days, weeks, and months. But what about you? Let me know in the comments, is DK Metcalf a smash or a pass in the late 4th round of 2025 fantasy football drafts? Would you like to win an autographed NFL jersey of your choice? Enter my March Madness giveaway and give it a shot. If you didn't know, I do a brand new giveaway for my subscribers every single month. In January, the winner of my giveaway, which was a fantasy football contest for the NFL playoffs, they won this awesome Drew Brees signed New Orleans Saints jersey. In February, we did a Super Bowl predictions contest where the winner, who is a Seattle Seahawks fan, chose this awesome retro JSN signed Seattle Seahawks jersey. In March, we're doing March Madness brackets where the winner will get their choice of an autographed NFL jersey worth $150 in value. In April, we're going to do an NFL mock draft competition where the winner gets an autographed NFL jersey of their choice. We do a brand new giveaway every single month for Basement Brood Fantasy Football subscribers. There's no added cost for them to enter. You simply must be a member of Basement Brood Fantasy Football. And right now, you can take advantage of early bird pricing. For just $6.99 per month, which is less than one trip to McDonald's, you'll get my 2025 Draft Dominator, you'll get my 2025 Week Winners, formerly known as Heat Maps, you'll get access to my Discord community of Fantasy Football Brains, and of course, you'll automatically be entered into my giveaways every single month. Take advantage of this early bird promotion by using the link that I left for you in the show notes, but don't wait, because this special offer expires when the NCAA tournament tips off on Thursday, March 20th. That'll be all for today's surprise bonus episode. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to help me in my quest to reach 1,000 subscribers. And be sure to turn on that all notifications button so you don't miss a thing, as I will almost certainly be dropping several videos as free agency continues to unfold over the next couple days. Until the next one, I'll see you in the basement. Cheers. This brew's for you.